right, ladies. Can you all hear me? Both can hear me? Okay. Hello, 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 everyone. We are back. We are back. Dr. Lakeisha McGee here with another Survivor Sunday. We took the month of July off as it was the summer and, people are traveling, just living their best lives in the summer. But we are back to discuss this important subject, which is breast cancer. As you all know, I have a nonprofit called the Heal Her Too Foundation, where we provide wraparound services for women who look like myself when they're in their breast cancer journey. We also provide services to their caregiver. We provide support groups, educational workshops. We even provide some financial support. We also provide a pink box for people who are in the thick of things with just a little, it's a care package that helped me when I was in my breast cancer journey. So today we're back. I'm excited to be here. Missed you all. We have two beautiful women with us today. We have Felicia Daniel, or is it Winfield? Winfield?
Winfield.
Which last
Winfield.
name?
Winfield.
Okay. Felicia Winfield, I'm sorry. She is a loving wife and mother of 4, 3 girls and 1 boy and 1 grandson. She was diagnosed in February with ductal carcinoma, grade 2. She's a very outgoing person who loves going out with her family and walking in the park to just clear her mind. Felicia is going to share her story with us today, and I'm excited to hear her perspective because she's at the very beginning of her journey. So Felicia, thank you for being here. I appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing your story because it takes a lot to talk about this thing because it's so real for us. And if you have not gone through it, you don't quite get it. It's not the same as watching someone when you're actually the one who's going through it. So thank you for being here. Our other guest today is Sekea Ross. She is my cousin. She was born in 1981 in Inglewood on Chicago's South Side. She is a resilient community leader and the founder of Learning to Live Through the Struggle nonprofit. She is a graduate of Urban Prep High School with honors in 1999. She later pursued photography at Harrington College. She is also a certified domestic violence, food and sanitation, violence prevention, and mandated reporter. And in 2016, Sekea battled stage 3 breast cancer. It was a fight that highlighted her strength in overcoming not just the disease, but also challenges like the loss of a sibling to gun violence many years ago, teen pregnancy, homelessness, and domestic violence. Inspired by these experiences, she founded her organization in 2019 to support others facing those same adversities. Sekea is the proud mother of 2 sons, Edward, age 24, and Mikai, age 15, who have witnessed her journey of survival and service. Today, she continues to uplift her community, turning her personal struggles into a source of empowerment for others. So thank you, Kiki, for being here. When Sekea was going through her breast cancer journey, I had moved to California and I was not physically present, but all I could do is call and pray and check on her and talk to her. So I wasn't there up close and personal. My mother was there. My mother was able to experience some of the stuff with her and then turned around, had to deal with the same thing with me. So even though my cousin experienced it, I wasn't there to experience all those things that she went through. So it was a challenge. It was a challenge to come right behind her a year or 2 later and experience the same thing. So Kiki, thank you for being here. Sekea. Ladies, let's get started. Of course, let's talk about your breast cancer journey, how you found out that you were breast cancer positive.
Which one would you like to start with?
Either one of you. Start with you, Sekea.
Yeah, so you go first.
Well, the way that I found that I had breast cancer, well, let's start from the beginning. One Sunday, I was at home getting ready for church, and I felt a lump in my breast and my bra area, like where my bra usually be in a wire. And I was just thinking, oh, well, my bra was too tight or the wire irritated me because I felt a little lump there. So, of course, I'm about 34 years old at this age, so I'm not thinking and don't have really much information about breast cancer, but I had heard about it. So I go to
Mm-hmm.
church, tell my mom, like, Mama, I got this knot in my breast. And so we still ain't thinking nothing about it. But I went to the doctor the next day, Holy Cross, in Chicago. And I, tell them I have this knot in my breast. Well, of course, I look good and I'm looking shape. So they told me, didn't give me no exams, didn't do anything. They just instantly said that it was a cyst. So since they
Mm.
didn't do no testing on me, I didn't take their word that it was a cyst. I signed, I made an appointment with my own personal health care provider. And he was a male. He checked me. He felt the lump. He didn't do much. He referred me to go get some tests done. But I didn't feel comfortable. Like, now this the second person done touched me. And ain't took no tests, ain't did nothing. This could be serious. Now I'm getting a little nervous and getting serious. So he sent me to get some tests, and then that's how they found out that I had a sign of something. I don't know if you want me to go into detail or let her kick hers off.
Well, after that, what happened next from there? Because for me, once I was diagnosed, it just moved really quickly.
So no, it moved extremely, extremely fast. Like from me going to the testing, I could have forgot my name. How much went on so fast? From me going to this one testing to see what was going on with me, went on to they calling in another doctor. So again, I'm 34 years old. I'm just going to do whatever they tell me to do to check on my body. But now they put me in this room. They do the mammogram and all that. Then they put me in this room, and it was a young girl there. And so with this young girl, she like in her 20s, and she talking to me and she telling me her because her mom had breast cancer, and I'm new to this. I don't know nothing about it. So she was telling me what had happened with her mom. Because now I'm in this secondary room waiting on them to tell me something, which I didn't know it was. I was going to get a ultrasound mammogram at this point because they think something. That's how fast it wasn't. Wow, it was go to this next room so we could take further testing. And while I'm in that room for further testing, they call in more nurses and doctors. So now I'm like, okay, what's really going on? Now it's moving too fast because I just had a knot and somebody just told me I had a cyst. Like, what y'all coming up in here for? What y'all see? By the time I got to my car in the parking lot, they're calling me saying that we need you to make an appointment to see a cancer doctor. And I'm like, because they need to do a biopsy. I'm like, huh? But I'm a little different and I crack a lot of jokes. So now I'm like, they playing too much. Like, they ain't finna be taking my stuff. So I instantly go into defense mode, like, these doctors not right. And when I say things move so fast, no lie, everything was from me being in my car talking to them, just them looking at me. They didn't give me time to think. They didn't give me time to. We need you back to take a biopsy. And I'm like, for what? Like, and from the biopsy, it was just more testing and more testing until I ran into you need your breast cut off, and now you need your hair. You need chemo, and it was just like, oh Jesus. Is you gonna give me a break? I ain't even 35 yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know how
It
many.
definitely moved
I won't let her get
rapidly.
in, but whenever you need me to answer questions, I'm ready.
Yeah, Felicia, what was your experience like?
I can't hear
So,
you.
oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I
Can you
can't
hear
hear
us?
either one of y'all.
No?
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay.
Can you hear us? You can hear us? Okay.
Okay, so basically, let me see, this is 2024. About 2022, I was taking a shower. I used to I felt like a little lump, a little something up top, my left breast. Never paid attention to it like that or seek attention for it. I mean, went to go get help for it, but as I turned 40 last year, I'm like, okay, let me go start getting my checkups. Life is life, and I never got a mammogram. Let me just see what it's about. Like I said, still no pain, but I just know I just had like a little lump. So as I go get the mammogram, they called me back like 2 weeks later saying that I need to probably go get a biopsy. And then that's when they had to put the clip in me. I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast or just because, like you said, it just went so fast.
You're
It's just
fine.
like now I'm getting a call from my doctor. He's telling me that I got the ductal carcinoma cancer, stage grade 1. So I'm thinking like, cancer. Oh my God, what? So that's when they brought me in, did out the biopsy and did the testing, and then it came back positive or whatever. So I pretty much got the phone call when I was at work, and my doctor called me. But like I said, with me just prolonging, like I said, the lump, I didn't feel no pain or nothing. Like I said, I felt something right there, but I'm young. Like you said, I'm 38, 39, just like, okay, nothing. But I'm like, you know what? I'm turning 40. Let me start just taking care of my lively things, seeing after myself, because, still have young kids and a grandson I want to be around, So that's what that. So when I got the call, they told me, well, I'm glad you came in, you did that, because people your age usually don't do that. They usually wait. So I'm glad you did come and take care now. So now I done finished 8 sessions of chemo. I have surgery on Tuesday to remove it, because like I said, they said the chemo did help shrink it, because it was like a size a quarter and 2 dimes, and it went down to like 6 centimeters. So I'm gonna have the surgery on Tuesday. A little nervous about it, but I'm like, you know what? Just ready for it to be all over with.
So you did your rounds of chemo first
Yes, ma'am.
before doing your surgery. So are you doing a bilateral? Are you doing just a lumpectomy? What's your plan?
I'm sorry, I really don't.
Are they removing
Oh, they're just
both of
removing
your
the.
breasts, one of your
Okay,
breasts? Are they just taking the lump out?
just
Oh, I'm
taking the
sorry, my
lump
son's
out.
in my
Just
eye.
taking the lump out. Just taking the lump out on the
Okay, so
left
you're doing a
side.
lumpectomy. Okay,
Lumpectomy,
a
yes.
lumpectomy. Okay.
And then
Yeah.
after that, I think I'm gonna have to do like 6 sessions of radiation.
Okay. How was the chemo? The chemo was the hardest part.
Oh yeah. So my first couple of sessions, the red devil. Oh my God.
Oh.
That thing gave me a run for money. I'm like, was so weak. I was so tired, because I was still working at the time. And I'm like, you know what? I can't do this. So I had to tell them, like, I had to call in my FLA, like, hey, I need the next day after off, or a couple of days, just so I could rest, because I was so tired and drained.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow. So you had the red devil.
yeah, that red devil.
So
That's
they said
uh-huh.
you had ductal carcinoma. Did they come back with any other diagnosis besides the ductal, and it was still stage
No,
1?
no, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, actually, no stage. They said grade. Is that a difference? Grade?
So it's a stage and a grade. So I was stage 2, grade 7. I was almost stage 3. So yeah, you can do a stage and a grade.
Okay. They just told me grade
Yeah.
at the time, grade 2.
Okay. Yeah. Kiki, you were stage 3.
Mm-hmm. I was
You were
stage
stage
3, her
3.
negative. But like she said, because I kind of skipped over the call.
Something is in my eye, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm listening.
But I'm used to going to the doctor and the doctor telling you something wrong with you. Not the doctor call you on the phone and tell you to do whatever the next doctor been telling you to do. Like, so this was something new to me too. That's how fast it went, that I ain't even come back in the doctor office to even get my information. Like, where's the remorse at with this?
Yeah.
Like,
I just felt like they was rushing me too. Like, you got to do this, you got to do that. I'm like, hold on,
yeah.
wait. Did I sneak it in? Because what do you, I thought they was rushing me as well. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Well, I found out in the car too. My doctor called me in the car, but my primary doctor told me, and I had a relationship with her, and she knows that, I'm like, look, you can just tell me now. I don't need to come in. So her telling me in the car was okay, because she was like, Lakeisha, I know how you are. I know you just want to know. But sensitivity definitely can be an issue surrounding this. And I know it's a sense of urgency, and that's why they try to push us and hurry us along, because they don't want it to spread or anything. But I pumped the brakes on my process. I found out in November, and I didn't have surgery or do anything until January, because I wanted to take control over what was happening with my situation, with my body. And I wanted to make sure that I had a surgeon and a plastic surgeon present at the same time, because I needed to have that expander when I left the hospital. So I had to wait a few months, and I did some natural things, and the tumors actually did shrink, because I stopped eating meat and sugars and all this stuff, and the tumors did shrink. So I know they're concerned about the cancer spreading, so that's why they try to rush us along. But I also know that you have to be comfortable with whatever they are offering you as a plan. You have to be comfortable with it, and sometimes you might have to slow things down because they were just moving like that. They were. So that's it. So Kiki, you had a bilateral such as I did, and tell us about your process with your chemo and radiation, and tell me how that process went for you.
Well, I was one of them. I'm a different breed of a cancer survivor, and I kind of stand on what I believe. And I'm not a scientist or a doctor, but I fought the doctors to the bitter end. Like I was very, very resentful. Um, they talking about you got cancer. Who? You ain't God. Like you can't tell me this. So now I'm in a doctor appointments. Like, give me some facts. If I take this medicine, how long I'm gonna live and how many people have passed away without taking it. I really wanted facts at this point. And I had a lot of support. Like my support system was really wonderful. But I at that point they like you being selfish and you being jealous. Cause at this point I'm saying they saying we need to take your breath. I found out in August. No, I found out at the end of July that I had cancer, or they say I had cancer. By September, they telling me you got to start this chemo. By November, you taking my breath. Like, wait a minute, you doing too much too fast. And how my chemo went, the first red devil, I took the red devil as well. It is dangerous. They told me my hair should not fall out to the second round. My hair was falling out in the first round. I'm up in the mirror playing in my hair because I didn't cut it low. So when it started falling out, I won't feel as bad. I'm trying to shake myself for this head that's coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm in a big mirror one day just playing in the little hair I got left trying to style it. I'm wiping in my hair. At this after the first treatment, my hair coming out and I'm like, wait a minute, this lady said my hair shouldn't fall outside to this second treatment. So something ain't right.
They
But
told me 14 days before your hair started falling out, and mine started falling out like day 12. They
so
did
mine
tell me
fell out
14
way
days.
before. I was supposed to do 4 rounds of 4 and taking a red devil. I made it successfully through 4 rounds. Um, because every time that I took the medicine, I was so weak that they would tell me my my levels never went back
You
up.
did
And
4?
I did 4. I was successful.
You did 4?
4 rounds. Yes, 4 rounds of 16. So I didn't make it 5, but um, that's when I feel again. You say I got cancer. God didn't tell me this. So y'all still in breast. This is what I told my cousin when I was going through the struggle. Like, they just around here still in breast. They doing too much. Like, how you want my breast and you ain't even gave me chemo? So I'm just like was against the whole doctor thing. The doctor like you just a selfish, and he was giving it to me hardcore because he like you a young girl, you look good, you got your whole life ahead of you because you don't want to take this medicine. You gonna let these kids, because I got again, I'm 2 young men. They were much younger then, suffer. And so I'm like, all right. And I gave in to the chemo, but it was so dangerous that to the point that after the day after when the day after medicine kick in, that they shoot in you, I was so miserable that I couldn't get out the bed. I couldn't do. My auntie Darlene literally had to sit on my bedside to make sure that I was okay to breathe, to turn over to. It was really, really bad. And when I get my
That was
health
my
back,
mom.
it was yeah. And when I get my
Yeah.
health back, it's time for another session, and I'm like, oh no, man, like
Too
this
much. Yeah.
it ain't. It's
That is
and so
exactly how it goes.
but they start giving me weeks off. So
That's
now
exactly how it goes. Yeah.
they give me a week off, and I'm feeling good, and I'm like, I ain't. If I feel good, why would I keep taking this medicine that's gonna make me sick? So I
Mm-hmm.
tried it. They gave me 3 weeks off. So that was almost a month living without their medicine. So I was like, okay. I went back to the doctor, and the second time they told me I had 0 red cells and 14 white cells, and they didn't even know how I made it to my appointment. They rushed me in to get a blood transfusion and a platelet transfusion. Like I stayed in the hospital so much going through cancer to the point that I rather took a chance with life and living by God than to continue to
You're saying
take their medicine.
the
Yeah,
chemo was so rough on you that you opted out after those 4 rounds of treatment because it was so rough. Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
it had me at
It
the
was
point that
definitely rough.
I was doing my own obituary, telling my family get together because at this point I got this fifth. My son was 17, about to graduate out of high school. Like it's hard on kids. They mama bald head, like kids. I mean, it's
Yeah.
now he got to take care of me on top of trying to worry about get out of school. Plus, I got a little baby. Like life is overwhelmed. That cancer made me think the worst of life at that point. To the point that if I gotta live like that, I'd rather take a chance on not taking the medicine and see how far I can go. And here I am.
Yes.
How long have you been cancer free now?
7 years with no cancer or no chemo. No
Mm-hmm.
medicine. No medicine.
You didn't do
None.
radiation either, did you?
No radiation.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
this is year 4 for me. But I did do the chemo. I think it was like 19 rounds with the chemo and with the different Herceptins and the um, immunosuppressants. I think it was like 19 rounds. It was definitely devastating. It was hard. I ended up in the hospital after the very first round. So I know the feeling, but I just kept pushing through it because I had young kids and I was like, I want to be here to, see them make it through. And I felt like I had a 50-50 chance with taking the chemo. And it was rough. Like she said, there were days where I couldn't get out the bed. My legs were so heavy, I couldn't even walk. So you
Yeah.
get it, but you just do what you think is best during that time. I would never tell anybody don't do chemo or to do chemo. I'm gonna tell them to do what is best for their situation. For me, I felt like it was a 50-50 chance. So I took that chance. But did it wipe out all of every red blood, white, everything in your body? I mean, that's what the chemo does. It wipes away the good and the bad. So I mean, that's the chance that you definitely take because it is definitely going to wipe out everything inside of your system. In order to kill the bad, it's killing the good as well. And here I am 4 years later, and I still feel like I experience after effects from taking chemo. And I still take a nostril. I have 2 more years on it. It's definitely a killer for your joints. Your joints hurt a lot when you're
Mm-hmm.
taking these different medications. You still feel tired. I mean, I'm tired all the time, all the time. And I don't know if that's because, as I said, my system still has not regenerated. But I'm always tired, and I do a lot, and I'm tired all the time. So, you just have to pick your battle when it comes to this thing. You have to decide, if you're gonna fight, how you're gonna fight this thing, um, and that's that. You have to figure out what's going to be best for you. So, how were you when you were in chemo? How was it?
Me. So basically, when I was in
Yes,
chemo,
Felicia, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm.
mine was every other week. Like I said, I had 8 sections, but it was every other week. So, like I said, the first
Mm-hmm.
4 section when I had the Red Devil, tired, drained. The second half was the Texol. That wasn't as bad as the Red Devil. So it's like with that week being off, I was able to like relax and I wasn't so drained as much. And then the medicine that they recommend that you take for nausea and all that, I didn't take any of that medicine as well. Because I felt that was making me more tired or just feeling like weak and fevers out of nowhere. Like I didn't take any of the medicine. I didn't.
Question.
Okay. That helps me. Yes.
Huh?
Is that her hair?
That
That's your hair
that
right
helped
now?
No,
me.
actually,
Yeah.
this is a
Mhm.
braided wig that I had on, like a lace
Okay,
wig.
okay,
So
okay.
I'm currently lost all my hair. So yeah, I have to
Yeah.
get the lace
I
wig
was like,
somewhere.
come on, girl, you kicking butt.
Mhm.
Yeah, but no, actually, like I said, I lost all my hair. Like you said, like the third session of chemo. Yeah, I was just,
Mhm.
I had one wig on. My hair was braided, and I just was trying to take the braids out. The braids just kept coming off as I was trying to take them down. I'm like, wow. I just wiped it on out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. I lost mine, like I said, day 12. Mine was coming out. So then my girlfriend who does hair, Miko, she flew down and she cut it into a little mohawk, and that lasted about another week or two, but that kind of gave me power to say I'm going to cut my hair, do what I want to do with it before the chemo take it all away. But once
Mhm.
she cut it into the mohawk, about another week, my hair, it was flopping. Like it was so loose, just like, I swear it was just flopping off my head like a toupee. So at that point, I was like, you know what? It is what it is. It's gone. And I just didn't wear wigs or anything during that time. I would put a little beanie on my head because it would stay cold,
Yeah.
but I just didn't wear wigs. I just said, you know what? I'm going to just deal with this. And I just wore my hair bald and kept going. It
Mhm.
definitely, now what I did have to do, I had to keep some lashes glued some kind of way. I needed some lashes and I
Yeah.
needed some
Yeah.
lipstick. I had to
Mhm.
hide those things, that made me feel a little cute and sexy, but I just, cancer will not only take your breasts and take your hair, but it will definitely take your confidence as well. It will make you feel like you're unattractive,
Mhm.
especially if you have a botched up um, surgeon who, I've seen some women who after their surgeries they're botched, like the surgeon couldn't, I'm just like, he couldn't have cared to do that. But I understand that, depending on the way the cancer is, different things, that the results are different. But depending on what your breasts look like afterwards, depending on, I gained a lot of weight. I'm still struggling with losing weight from the medications. And plus, I still take the medication. So it's a struggle. And all of those things will affect your psyche. You have to definitely be strong and be in a good place to, remind yourself of who you are and whose you are, to keep going. And that's where the support groups come in, talking to other like-minded women who are going through what you're going through, to keep encouraging you to keep fighting and to keep going through, because we know that half the battle is believing that you're going to make it, believing that you're strong enough to win this thing. That's half the battle, is what your psyche tells you, what your mind and your spirit tells you. Because if you say I'm going to fight, then okay, let's fight. So that was something else that I know some women definitely experience when they're going through this thing, is you got to be just surrounded by other women like-minded who are experienced or who have experienced something to pour into you. So how was your family support? I heard Kiki say she had Sekea say she had a huge support system. How was your support system then?
It's pretty strong. Like the days I was going to chemo, my husband's off on Friday, so I scheduled all my chemos on Friday. So he made sure I got there and back. And like I said, as far as my kids, I have a 23-year-old daughter, 17-year-old son, 18-year-old son, and 14 and 11-year-old two daughters. So they pretty much know what's going on. They, Mom, you okay? You need us to do this,
Mhm.
and support me a lot as well.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, that's good. Definitely. That family support is everything as well. It's hard on the family, like Kiki said, it's hard on your children because they're watching their superhero, their shero. My oldest son, he couldn't even come around when I was in chemo. He would call, he would send, but he was like, I cannot go to a chemo session with you. I cannot. He could not bear the fact to see me like that.
Hmm.
And that was crazy. But people handle things
Yeah.
in the way that they can handle traumas, and that was his way. My other son was like, Ma, I'll come home from school and I'll stay with you. I'll take care of you. And I was like, no, you're a senior. You're going to stay at school and graduate from college. But your kids, they do handle things differently, just depending on what's happening. My mom came and took care of me, and I'm grateful. And it was a difficult for her. She had went through with Sekea, um, At the time, my grandfather was also sick. Um, he was passing from cancer, and my uncle was sick too. Two brothers. They lived in the same building together. He passed from the day I had surgery, which was January 31st of 2019. My uncle Melvin passed. My mom was taking care of me, and her dad was at home battling on his own. He was well enough, but he was still battling cancer. So after she got me to a good place, she went back home, and her dad passed like 5 or 6 months later. So this thing is it's real. It's real.
Mhm.
Oh, and I forgot to mention in there in 2018, my mom took care of my dad. He passed from cancer, and she was there when he took his last breath. So it's almost like she's the person to take care of all of us
Mm-hmm.
when we're
Mhm.
sick, and she's been there to watch those people take that last breath, and it's all been from cancer. It's crazy. It's
Wow.
crazy. So your support systems are everything. They are everything, definitely.
Do any of you ladies
So
have the
you're
chest
having
port?
surgery.
Oh, do any of you
So
ladies have the
Um,
chest
I,
port?
I did. I did. I still have, this is where my port was.
Okay, they
Yeah.
removed it.
Yes. Uh-huh. I took mine out. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. They
Okay.
took mine out. So I took my last round of chemo. Uh, my last session was March 16th of 2020. And they took my port out probably 6 months later, 3 to 6 months later, because I was like, I'm ready for it to go. I still have it, but yes, I took it out. It was the best thing, because that's where they were able to just put the medication versus constantly sticking you in your arms trying to take blood and stuff. So the port was actually the best thing. I recommend doing the port versus doing your veins all the time. So did you have the port?
I still have it now. Yeah. I think I keep it for a year because they
Okay.
gotta flush it once everything. Gotta come back and get it flushed out and
Yeah.
everything. Hmm.
Okay, yeah. So I had the surgery first, my mastectomy bilateral. Then I did chemo, then I did radiation. So by time I was finishing up my last my last chemo, the next thing for me to do was just the radiation. So they were able to take mine out.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and Kiki, did you get a port or did you do your arms? I can't remember. Which one did you do? Did you do the regular port or your arm?
I did it in my arm because I told you I was
Yeah.
too young to be having all that stuff messing me up. I'm
Mhm.
like,
Hmm.
I
How was
can't
that?
get no new man with that in my chest. That was
Hmm.
my mindset. I'm saying 34. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute now. I gotta give me
Hmm.
a
How
husband.
was that? How was the taking the medication in your arm versus the port?
No, it was a port, but they put it in my arm. So
Right.
I
I'm
had my
sorry.
little
How was
lump
it
in
though
my
doing in your
arm.
arm?
Oh, well, I don't know, because as
Oh,
soon as
okay,
I took
okay,
the
okay. It
drugs,
was
I
a
was,
regular port. I
Hmm.
yeah,
got you. Okay, it was a regular port. They just put it in your arm instead of your
correct.
chest. Oh, okay, okay,
Hmm.
okay, okay. Got you, got you.
Yeah,
Okay, then I only can assume that it was probably the same
yeah.
thing.
It was a
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
bump looking
Okay.
thing that come out my arm instead of my breast.
Oh, okay. Okay. And how long did it take before they removed it?
Mm, again, I didn't survive that. I don't remember. I started my chemo um in September. They was taking my
Hmm.
breasts. I was done with them by March, and I was taking my trips and going on to the next stage in life. After March, I was on to the new life. So they took my port out
Did they
probably
take the port out?
in April when they found out I wasn't coming back. They took their stuff out of me.
That's right.
I was back to work and everything because I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. But so believe it or not, cancer was one of the best things that the worst best things could have happened to me.
Oh.
So it's a gift and
Say
a
that
curse.
again.
Cancer was one of the
Okay. How
worst
so?
best things that could, because it took me time because I move around a lot. I'm a busy person. I do a lot, but it took me time to lay on
Hmm.
my back to ask God. Now I'm going in connection with God for real. Now I've been in church all my whole life, but now I'm really in connection with God. Like Lord, if you give me strength again, I promise I'm gonna do this. I promise I'm gonna do. I found my purpose in life after having cancer. And so then I was able to reflect on all the things because when you're growing up, you just think you go through a lot of trauma and hell. Well, I realized I hadn't really been through nothing, and so I had to lay on my back, not go to work, had kids to take care. Like I was left hopeless. So if I could have survived that, baby, if you give me some strength, Lord, I'm running with the Giants. And that's what I did. I took off and I ain't looked back. I was able after cancer. Again, I couldn't work. So I didn't know I was gonna pay my bills. I didn't know how I was gonna do anything. I didn't have enough strength to get up and go to work. So just thinking about me trying to survive my life, worry about how I'm gonna pay my bills, how my kids gonna graduate from high school, how the other went, like I'm overwhelmed just thinking about that. And every time I go to the doctor and tell them, y'all got a therapist for me, because baby, it's real over here. You see, I crack a lot of jokes that they don't see the hurt. This because you laugh and keep from crying, but baby, it was real. But I went in every day with this kind of personality, and when he gave me this strength. I'm 7 years cancer free. Right now, I am getting ready to have a take me back to a kid again, because I said, if you give me this strength again, Lord, I'm going to do everything I should have did as a kid. And baby, and that's what I do. Jump rope, dance, whatever you give me, I'm out here.
Have you gone back for any exams, Kiki? Have you had a MRI or any? Okay, so you do go back for those.
I keep going back. I just had my test in my breast because, unfortunately, even though I have implants, I felt a lump in my implant. So here I am, like, Lord knows I can't go through this again. But they just saying
that you had
probably
a lump in your
my implant. Yes. So I'm like, now how is this possible? But they said it's the fatty tissues. They took some of the fat out of my stomach to cuff around the breast area that the fat done just lumped up. It needs to be massaged around. It was a scare.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, that would definitely be scary to be like, wait a minute, y'all done took everything. I got implants, and now I'm still feeling the lump. So I definitely get that. I understand. I'm glad everything worked out. Yeah, for sure. I just took mine MRI 2 weeks ago. Both.
The implants, you got them
both.
One breast or two?
I got them in both. I told you, girl. I told you I was young. I had to be fixed whole. I need 2 breasts because you took 2. And I need you to make them look good.
Yeah.
But that pain, my cousin took a little more pain because her boobs is really big. But I was like, I can't take no more. If you scratch my skin anymore, baby, I don't know.
So, you know what? I know some people said that the expanders hurt. They didn't bother me. I did not have any pain with the expanders. I guess I was just so excited to get some new boobs that I was like, yeah, give them to me, because I did not have any pain with the expanders. And he did expand them a little bit extra, but I didn't have any pain with the expanders at all. Not at all. So, but I too did a bilateral because I wanted to make sure that it don't come back from this one to that one, because mine was in my left breast as well. And I just was like, I'm not going to have 2 uneven breasts. You just go ahead and take one, take them both, fix them, just call it a day. So that's what happened. That was the process for me. Yeah.
Okay.
But even in my process, that they found several lumps, but I was gonna let them take them both anyway. But even when they found it over here in my left breast first, originally, as they went to test me, they kept testing me. They found lumps in my right breast, but I always was going to the doctor. They just said I had lumpy breasts. So that's like a really thing.
Wait, you had one in each breast?
I had.
You had one in each breast?
Yeah, they seen them after they went. It started out with the left breast, but as they went on to test, they started seeing that I had lumps in the other side too. But I had already told them to take them both, so it didn't matter to me where they sent them at.
Yeah, and I've heard I've heard people, I've had, some women that say that the breast cancer, for some of my people who have been 2-time survivors or 3-time survivors, they have had it in one breast and it was like HER2 positive, but then it came back and it was in the other breast and it was triple negative or something like that. So it can come back in a different form, which is crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. So your left breast was the start, and I think Felicia's left breast was the start, and mine was too. It was the left breast. But yeah, I told him take them both. Just take them both. It works better. So Felicia, have you had any counseling or did they offer you any clinical trials or anything like that? Did you get offered any clinical trials or anything, Sekea?
Well, for the most part, no counseling, no, but I do have like a health advocate that probably call and check up on me and see how everything is going.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, yeah,
okay.
no counseling. South Suburban.
So when you
South
say
Suburban.
clinical trials, what do you mean, cousin?
So, as we're going through the process of trying to figure out what's the best options for women, Black women that, are going through chemo and stuff, they're trying to figure out what's the best type of medications and stuff for us. So in order for that to happen, they're doing clinical trials with women so that they can see how this medication affects us. Because I've been told during some of these new clinical trials that the medications that they may give to our counterparts, to Caucasian women, don't necessarily fit us the same way. So the clinical trials are trying to find medications that particularly work for Black women. I did a clinical trial. It wasn't, and it's not always just medication. It can be about your hair follicles, how they respond when you're in chemo. It's different things because I have done a clinical trial. But it's not many that's offered to Black women. There's not many out there for us. And Black women don't necessarily want to participate in clinical trials either. We're so skeptical about a lot of things medically that sometimes we kind of hurt ourselves a little bit because we're so skeptical, and we got right reason to be, Henrietta Lack, Tuskegee. So I get it. But in order for us to continue to find what works for us so that my daughter and your daughter-in-law, your granddaughters will be able to have appropriate treatment, we need to participate in these clinical trials.
So no, I didn't.
I'm going to assume that
I didn't do any clinical trials.
Okay. And Felicia, you said nothing was
I didn't do
offered
any
to
as
you.
well. Yeah, but I do have one lady that's call and check up, but no, as far as clinical, no.
Okay. So let's talk about your experience with your doctors. How was that? Did you feel like they were educating you enough? Did you feel like they were supportive enough? How was your experience with your medical staff?
Okay, far as with my primary doctor, that's another thing too. When I first found out about it, I had just got kicked off the medical card. So it's like I didn't have no insurance, so I didn't have time to follow up appointments with my primary doctor. So I was just strictly seeing the doctors at the hospital, the oncologist and the surgeon doctor. I was just sticking with them two. So when I told my job, they said I can sign up for some emergency insurance. So now I just got back in tune with my primary doctor. And as far as support, like I said, I haven't been seeing them like that. But the oncologist, I felt that they were moving so fast. Just telling me I need to get this done, hurry up and do this, or you need to start this. So I just feel like they just trying to do it.
So did you feel like they were explaining things to you?
Yes, but me just thinking about cancer, I felt it was just overwhelming too much. Like I should have had somebody there with me to really help me. Like, cause it's like they're saying this, I'm listening, but it's like, okay, I just want this stuff done. But I didn't have nobody there at the doctor's with me to be like the support, because my husband had work during the weekend. He only off on Fridays, the weekend. So yeah, it was just too much to take in at one time because it was overwhelming.
So that's one of the things that we, with our women and who are, about to experience this, that's one of the things that we tell them is when you're going for your doctor's appointments, make sure you take a journal so that you can write down everything, all the questions, if they say something you don't understand, like when they said tamoxifen, or you're like, what is that? Well, write it down so that you can go back and check and see what it is. So that's something we recommend you do. Take a journal.
Okay.
And we also always recommend, if you can't have somebody to go with you, have somebody there with you, because my mother, or I always had somebody to go with me to a chemo session, doctor's appointments, because they were my second set of ears. What I didn't hear, they heard. What I didn't remember, they did. So those two things I highly recommend. And if you cannot have someone to go with you, even my daughter would record. She would audio record to, play back to remember what was said, because it was new for us too. We had no clue about a lot of things they were explaining to us, what a flap was, or what we had to we didn't know. So we wrote those things down and we went back and we researched them, because for us and for a lot of Black women, breast cancer had always been looked upon to me as a older Caucasian woman's disease. It wasn't until it has started hitting our communities the way that it has that I think of it as a Black woman's disease. I never had before. So my information, and as I said, when my cousin was diagnosed, I wasn't there. So I still was very ignorant to breast cancer and what the journey looks like, and the wording, and I was very ignorant to it. So I definitely suggest that take you a journal and journal. Ask those questions, do all that you can so that you can be able to understand what's going on. So, Sekea, when you went for your appointments, how was well, we heard you say you were joking around and things of that nature, but what did you do to overcome the lack of knowledge about breast cancer?
Well, remember how I felt about cancer. So my thing was, if I even took a chance on dying, I wanted to educate other people. So I would go Facebook Live every appointment, just so other people could see my experience. If I lived or I died, I wanted them to know exactly the way I lived. Like, I smiled, I cried. When I heard it, I wanted the people to see I heard. When I was happy, I wanted them to see, like, it wasn't all bad, but it was more bad days taking the medicine than it was good days.
Yeah, I did that as well. I went Facebook Live too, just to share my experiences, and you would be so surprised as to how many people were taken back, and they were like, oh my God, your experience has made me go get my mammogram, or it has made me want to share my story. There were women who had experienced that by themselves and they had never shared it with anybody. So going live and sharing definitely touched other people. It did.
So I'm kind of like, not private, but it's like I didn't want
Yes.
No, but you know what? There are some women who said that too, that they are private and they didn't want people to know what they had gone through.
Yeah.
I had one friend who said that her husband didn't even know she was going through it. And I'm like, that right there is something.
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine your spouse not knowing, but yeah. So I get it. I definitely do. And we have to do, once again, what is comfortable with us with this, because it's about our ability to heal, our ability to go through this traumatic situation. So I get it. I get it. Sekea, tell us a bit about your process for healing. You also decided to start a nonprofit and do some other things. Kind of tell us about that a little bit, about your nonprofit journey and what you're doing now, and things of that nature to help, fight the breast cancer war.
Well, like I said, I prayed. So when I asked God to give me the strength, and if He gave it to me, I would help His people. So my first big mission was to go back out and be a kid, and I started that as soon. I started medicine in, I told you, March. Well, that July, I was
Mhm.
having to take me back to a kid event. And at first, it wasn't successful because I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew I had life and I wanted to give back. And my thing was my kids was my struggle. So, like, I took a piece of them away. So this take us all back so we could go outside, be a kid. Within them years, COVID came, so it slowed things down. But
Mhm.
I stress to y'all, I'm a different kind of cancer patient. No, I'm not playing with my life, but I just believe in God. So
Mhm.
I survived the COVID, never caught it. Like everything was so amazing. That's
Mm-hmm.
that new beginning. I'm like, this was some real good medicine. Even though it threw me down, it made me be able to survive things and wiping people out. Like, thank you God for that dose of that red devil that I was able to take, because it was killing
Mhm.
things that was killing people. And thank God that it didn't kill me in the process of
Mhm.
doing that. I
Mhm.
really, it's a lot that goes on, and I sympathize for all the people who, passed away during that time. But I was blessed enough to survive it. Like, I, everybody want to take a trip. I'm living my best life. Like, they don't even know I just survived laying in this bed for months. I'm finna go out here and I'm gonna live.
Mm-hmm.
This
Mhm.
ain't working.
Mhm. The will to live is something special. I'm telling you, once you've willed in your power that I'm going to live by all means necessary, you can do that. And once you said, as you locked in and you connected with God and was like, look, just give me another chance and I'm going to live. And that's, like I said, that's half the battle. When I was diagnosed, the first thing I heard God say was, all sickness is not unto death. So I knew that I was not going to die. I knew that this was a test and it was for me to help other people to get through this. So I understand that. Definitely understand it. So your nonprofit focuses on, tell us what it focuses on. Your children, which you're giving back to the community through the kids, and what else?
I'm trying to get some juice. That's what y'all see me over here going through the struggle. Um, but my non for profit is called Learning to Live Through the Struggle. And the reason I named it that, and I came up with it while surviving cancer, is regardless of what the situation again was, I wanted people to understand that I'm learning to live like this. Cancer is something I don't know about. I'm learning as I go through, but I reflected back to I'm a domestic violence survivor as well. You just didn't survive cancer. So I just started analyzing all the things I had survived in my 35 of them years, because I'm over 40 now, but over my lifespan, what I had survived. And that's what made me start a non for profit. And it's based off kids, because kids see other people go through struggle. Actually, domestic violence and all that start in your home sometime when you were a kid. So it's just all
Mm-hmm.
the things that I had learned to live through. I wanted to be able, with the next couple of years of my next lifeline, I wanted to be able to help others. And then it didn't affect me, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
it affected my mama. So how did my mama feel? How did my kids feel? Now let me go out here and try to get into other people's heads and see how I can help them, or what can I do to make their kids feel better when they mama's sick, or make they mama feel better, when they going through. Or and then every year for Valentine's Day we give out love bags, because we think about the people who lost their spouse to these kind of situations, and they'll usually be there to get them gifts or whatever. But unfortunately, they didn't make it. So people like us come around and try to keep them smiles on other people's faces.
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
nice.
That's nice. Mm-hmm. So you focus on the children, you focus on the widows of survivors, and you focus on domestic violence um, survivors, and you focus on breast cancer survivors.
Yes, but most of my work is out here serving the homeless. So I do a little bit of everything, because again, God gave me that strength.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So tell us about your service with the homeless. Are you with the homeless? I know, we feed and we clothe them, but are you working with the women to try to get them to get their breast exams and things like what's your homeless agenda?
So cancer is just not my focus. It's just something I survived. I don't have a lot of knowledge in cancer. So what I do is partner up with people with more knowledge than me in that area. And when I find out someone had cancer, I will refer them over. If I need to send out like love baskets, they'll be the perfect person to know who to really work with. But if you come up to me and you tell me you need my help, baby, I'm not gonna tell you what I did because I wouldn't give you my advice, but I'm gonna tell you how I survived what I've been through to get 7 years of where I'm at. And it was praying. It was praying.
That right there is the number one key to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is praying. But with prayer, people have to realize with prayer, you have to really have faith to believe, and you have to turn it over to him and let it go. Don't pick it back up. And you have to listen for his voice. You got to listen to see what he's saying. We pray, we take it back, and we don't listen. That's an oxymoron. So, yeah, but that right there, that changes everything. Praying without ceasing. Yes, it does.
Support is another thing. So you call me, cousin, all the time and pray for me. So prayer was the thing, right? Because you've been my role model for a long, long, long time. She always was my mentor. So me looking up at her, and she was the one be like, Kiki, you gotta document it. Like she's telling you, Miss Felicia, like put it down on paper. She like, if Facebook, all your stuff get wiped out, what you gonna do? How you gonna remember what you went through? And I'm like, you right. Like you right. But I just wanted to show people my life experience. Even still today, like life is amazing. Even though it took a little obstacles to get us there, but praying and support. She was in California, I was in Chicago, but she was able to pray for me. And that gave me strength when I couldn't pray for myself to know that it'll be all right. And watching other survivors as well, as she said, like I wasn't in no support groups or anything, but I had watched my pastor wife go through it and watched some more people who walked with me through cancer. So it was like, oh man, I got this. No, I put on a wig every now and then, but no, wigs ain't my favorite. I don't want to, not to judge, but I want to find out, guys, you pulling me here and taking me here. What is this about? What is this identity change about? And yeah, my boobs was my biggest thing. So I was losing one of the things I loved the most was my boobs, but then I lost my hair. You taking two things at once, you killing me now. But I survived it. Yeah. He took it and I still survived.
Listen, that hair was something. My hair was down the middle of my back, almost to my behind. So to be able to take that hair and let it go and then be here today with no hair, like this has been the absolute best that I have. I love just not having hair now. I'm not gonna keep it this way forever, but this right here, it was a whole mentality change. Losing when your hair is down here and then you lose it, it's a whole mentality change. Your focus is hair. I gotta live. You know what I'm saying? So, but it definitely changes you. It definitely does. Kiki, I was listening to you and I was just reading. It just went back to my mind when you were saying all that you've been through, losing a sibling who was my favorite cousin when I was young. That was my heart. That was like my brother. Losing a sibling, teenage pregnancy, homelessness, domestic violence, breast cancer, so much more. But to just hear all of those things that you've survived and you still standing and you pouring into others and you continue to work on yourself to better yourself, that's the best testimony ever when you can do that. And just know that breast cancer, that was a part of the journey to help push you to get to this place that you're at. Like you said, it's amazing. It is amazing. And we all go through so many things in this life. We do. But this breast cancer journey will definitely, it'll
change.
It'll take you some places. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It really will. It will. Because there are so many days that. Go ahead.
I was saying because if cancer didn't come, I probably wouldn't even found the true identity of all the things I had even survived. Like it took something as major as me losing my life to know that, girl, you done been kicking butt in life already. Like your brother was killed in your house. Like you was a child and you still was able, you and your family moved past that. Like you done made several mistakes. God got purpose for you. So you got to do his plan. Like, don't give
Mhm.
up.
Yeah,
Fight.
yeah,
Fight
yeah,
like you've been
yeah,
fighting.
yeah, yeah. It's something. Felicia, I know I heard you say you're a private person, so to have you on here talking and sharing your experience is amazing. And I definitely would want to keep in touch. I know you're getting ready to have your surgery. Do you have to do radiation
Yes.
after? Okay, you do.
Surgery, it's probably gonna wait a month or so. Then I think I have to do 6 rounds of it.
You have to do 6 rounds?
Yeah, 6 rounds of radiation.
Oh, bless you. I think I did like 32. Oh, it was horrible.
32.
Um,
Ooh.
mhm. Yeah,
You
because
super
my
strong.
margins didn't come out clean when they,
Uh-huh.
after they removed the cancer, the margins didn't come out clean. So they wanted to make sure. So they gave me a full month of radiation, like every day except the weekends, I think. We get the weekends off or something. But yeah, it was crazy. So, but I was gonna ask you, do you plan on sharing your story or doing more on the breast cancer platforms, pouring into other women or helping mentoring or doing anything else, joining a support group or just, do you plan on being more involved in breast
Oh.
cancer
I
awareness
can, but
in
I'm more of
any
like
type
a
of
shy
way?
person. Yeah, I can get
You
more involved.
shy?
Like I like the support that you guys share the story, and I can speak to you guys, but I'm kind of like shy a little bit. Like I would need like support, then I can add on with it, if that makes sense. But yes, I could go
No,
on with.
that's the
Yeah.
That's no, that's fine. That's fine. I just know that there's always somebody out there that your story is going to touch in some kind of way. Sharing on this platform and just talking about it in general
Yes.
has has given so many people strength that I know that, like I said, they've inboxed me, they've inboxed other of my board members or other women that have told their story because somebody may connect with you that don't connect with me and be like, oh my God, we're the same. Can you, walk through this journey with me or whatever? So that's the only reason why I asked, as far as just, you never know who you're going to touch with your story. That's all. That's all. But we're here. We're here for support for you if you need to talk. And, after you have your surgery and if you have questions, anything, we're here definitely to support you and talk about it. There's other women, like I can't speak to a lumpectomy, but I do have other women who have had only a lumpectomy that I can connect you with and different things like that. But this is it. This is what we do. We're
And
gonna
I'm here.
continue to share until they can
I'm
come
in
up.
I'm here to help you. I'm
Right.
I'm
You
around the
guys are both
corner.
in Harvey.
Right. And
She's
that's
in
yeah,
I'm
that's
around the
Harvey.
listen.
corner.
So
So
yeah.
I
So
can
Sekea has events all the time for the children, for the community, she's always doing something. So she's definitely right there. Right there.
Okay.
I'm still thousands of miles away, but
mhm.
but she's right there in your community. So that'll
Okay.
be a great team up, a great support. Yep. So,
Because I'm currently
but
still working, but I'm just on leave now, um, until
mhm,
surgery till October. So I'm working. I work at the Walmart right there in Country Club Hills.
Okay.
So
mhm,
yeah, so I just took a leave
mhm.
August 1st, so I can just mentally, physically prepare myself and just make sure I'm just, well rested
You
and
look good.
Oh,
You
it's
look good.
yes,
You
appreciate
look
it.
it's a
Thank you. You
good.
do
process.
too. You
Yeah.
guys do too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely a process. process. I'm glad you're taking the time just to kind of prepare yourself mentally for it, because as Sekea said, losing your breast or even losing a piece of your breast is a loss.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked about counseling, because losing your breast, that's a part of your body, that's a loss for some people, for sure. It's a loss for us all who have experienced it, but for some people, you need counseling because it's a big loss, you know. So I encourage women, if they've not had counseling and they need it, don't be shy. Go get you some counseling. Go talk to a mental health professional. Get the support that you need, not just for you, but your family, you know, could benefit from it too. Sometimes we don't realize, as Sekea said, our children are going through this and they're holding all of this in. They need an outlet as well. So I definitely say, you know, that if you feel like you need it, get that support, definitely. Or just join a support group, like we're saying, join one of our support groups too. So
Most
that's
definitely.
it. But I'm excited to see where you're gonna go and what you're gonna do after you have your surgeries, after your raise. I promise you, you're not gonna be the same. You're always it's going to be, I don't know. It's like a game changer in you or something. Once you've gone through something like this, I had been through so many different things, but I had never been through a medical situation that I had to heal from. So healing is always my thing. I'm always about, you know, just physical, mental, emotional healing. But I had never been through anything medically until breast cancer. So now I feel like I can speak to different parts of a person when it comes to healing. I've been through a divorce. I've been through this. So this was the last piece, I feel like, was the medical situation. So
Okay.
but yeah. So, do you all have any advice for someone who's going through this journey? What would your piece of advice be for them?
Can't hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay, my piece of advice is listen to your body. Don't overdo yourself. Don't push yourself more than your body lets you do. If it need a break, take a break. And do it for you. I know that a lot of this, it gets hard, and a lot of people, you worry about a lot of other people, but think about your health. I commend all the women that push through and make it to the end, because you're very, very strong. But again, listen to your body. Don't push more on you than your body can take. Let your body heal, let it rest, and then go to the next step. Don't let the doctors rush you either.
Yeah.
That's my take.
Also, listen to your body, knowing when something is wrong. We have to know our bodies to say something is wrong, and we need to go and get a checkup, to get, you know, those breast examinations or whatever. Get a checkup if you feel it. I had one of our ladies, her name was Free, and she went to the ER, and she said she kept telling them that she was having bad headaches, and she told them to do um, a mammogram for her, and they kept telling her, no, you don't need one, no, you don't. And she kept saying, yes, I need one. And her demanding that she have that mammogram saved her life. She wound up having breast cancer twice, wind up having the BRCA gene, wind up, but had she not insisted that she knew her body and something was wrong, she wouldn't have made it. She wouldn't be here. So, as Kiki's saying, listen to your body, know your body. You got to know your body. You definitely have to be the one who, I tell people all the time, you are the expert on you. You know your body better than anybody else. You're the expert on you. So, what would your advice be, Felicia? You have any advice for anyone that's in this situation?
Stay prayed up, keep God first. And like you said, just worry about yourself and stop putting everybody over. Just worry about yourself.
Yeah,
Keep God
you have
first.
to. You definitely have to. Yeah. My advice to women is to take your health seriously, especially as we're aging. Take your health seriously. Get your checkups. get your self-care, because that's a part of taking care of your health. Make sure that you are, getting that self-care for yourself. Also, if for some reason you are diagnosed with breast cancer, listen to listen to your doctors, listen to yourself, gather as much information as you can about the disease so that you're knowledgeable about the decisions that you're going to make concerning your treatment plan, and have a good support system. Definitely. Don't be embarrassed to cry. Sometimes we need those shoulders to cry on. We definitely need that support system for sure. So, anything else, ladies, that you would like to share today about your journey?
I really don't have anything else.
Yeah, me either.
Okay. Okay, well, I appreciate you both. I'm going to check back in with you, Felicia, after you have your surgery, and just see how everything went. Just, advocating for yourself. That's number one. Make sure, as I said, you take that journal, you ask those questions, you write them down.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely check in with you to see how you're doing. Your surgery is Tuesday?
Yes, Tuesday, early in the morning.
Tuesday, okay.
God is a
Tuesday.
healer. You got this.
Try to check with you like
Appreciate it.
Wednesday. Yes, definitely. Like Wednesday or Thursday. I'm leaving tonight to take my daughter back to school, so I'll be on the road for a little bit. But ladies, I just want to say thank you both for coming and sharing your testimonies. And I would like to ask Sekea, if there's someone out there that would like to get in touch with you, where can they reach you?
They can find me at, they can email me if they want to send an email, if it's personal, at ltltts at ltltts. That's learning to live through the struggle at learningtolivethroughthestruggle.com, but just the initials. Or you can look up the website, Learning to Live Through the Struggle. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on TikTok. All of the platforms I'm out here. And you actually can catch me in the street.
Are all your social media handles the same? Learning to live with the struggle, or are they all the same?
They no, remember I said some are symbols. So the email, if you want to email me, is symbols. Everything else is word out. So learning to live through the struggle.
Learning to live through the struggle. Okay, gotcha. Okay. And Felicia, I'm not going to ask you where somebody can reach you at, because you already told me you private. You ain't. You're not ready for the people to reach out to you yet.
Not yet. I don't want to get overwhelmed.
Not yet, but one day. And everyone, you can find me at my website is www.healher2foundation.org. And all social medias is heal_her2. And Facebook is Heal Her 2 Foundation. YouTube is Heal Her 2 Foundation. And of course, I'm on all social medias. As Facebook is Dr. Lakeisha McGee, Dr. Lakeisha Ross McGee. But my personal Instagram is I am Dr. McGee. And yeah, my social media says I am Dr. McGee. Yeah. And that is it for us today. Another successful Survivor Sunday. If you have any questions, or you have any need any information, need any support, please reach out to me. You can email us at healher to at gmail.com. I'm sorry. I have like 50 million emails, guys. I'm sorry. But if you need any support, we are here to provide support for you. If you know a young lady who is struggling, who's in treatment, who has just finished, who has just been diagnosed, please reach out to us and let us know. We are here to help provide support. Thank you, cousin. I appreciate you so much for joining today. I see you were busy. You said you had a couple of things going on today. I appreciate you for being here.
Yeah, we trying to get ready for our next week event. If you available, come out to the park. We having a
tell them about your next big event.
Okay, we have a take me back to a kid again. It's next Sunday, August 25th in Oregon Park, 6500 Southwestern. We will be feeding. We will have fun. We will play games. We will have Jumping Juniors, 40 plus, Taste for the Homeless, um, the barbers. We done partner with barbers, beauticians, and everything, just so we can keep you looking good and feeling good while you surviving the struggle. So we at 65th
What's
again. We'll
the
be there from
time?
3 to 7. 3 to 7 is the event, and it's a free event.
Okay.
Everything free. School supply giveaway and whatever you need. Free clothes too.
Okay. 6500 Ogden
South Racine.
Road.
South Racine. No.
Oh,
6500 South Racine. Ogden Park in Inglewood.
Ogden Park. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. Oh yeah, the big park over there. We used to go swimming at.
I'm
Okay,
gonna
yeah, I
say
know
now
it's
you
that. Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm like, yeah, I know. Okay, I remember now. Yeah, we used to go swimming there. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. I love you, cousin. Thank you so much for being on here. And
No, you
hopefully
too, cousin.
someone will hear the story and they'll come out and support. All
No
right. Have a good
problem.
day, babe.
You too, bye-bye.
All right. Bye.